Live from our studios here at Kokomlemle in Accra, this is your news desk with me, Faustina Safo. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, and around the world, we're on myjoyonline.com. Within the next 60 minutes, new year, new taxes. Brace yourselves to pay more taxes as new revenue measures passed by Parliament are set to take effect this year. Also, Bolt, Uber, Yango and other ride-hailing services to strike if government does not rescind its decision to charge them vehicle income tax from this year. Also in this bulletin, close call at the Black Star Square as fireworks misfire, endangering the lives of thousands of revelers who gathered last night to welcome the new year. We also have business in this package, where you're home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. My name is Faustina Safo. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now, the reintroduction of the vehicle income tax takes effect from Tuesday. The Ghana Revenue Authority has been justifying the tax on ride-hailing services, insisting it forms part of measures to widen the tax net. Commissioner General Reverend Dr. Mishadaya Wuso Amwa says they also want to target persons operating in the e-commerce space.
I think that sometimes people should understand, because it's the same people who say widen the net, widen the net. And like we started, you said we are focusing on the same people all the time, and we are creating fatigue. And then when we are trying to widen the net today, say, hey, why are you going to this area? Why are you going to this area?
Because people are worried about the impact on the cost of living, because these firms would definitely pass on these costs to them. If without them, and you might be hitting your target, maybe let's excuse them.
So then what is the wide in the net? So I think that is people should, and sometimes when they say these things, they said in 2 years in the come out some sort of thing. It's important that we deepen and widen the net. And if there are some industry players, some sectors that are not in, it's important that we keep on looking at it, because if there is somebody doing a business and that business is not on, for example, we talked about, in fact, one of the things that we put in our strategy is the emerging business lines, and bringing those emerging business lines into the tax bracket. And when I say emerging business lines, it is the ride-hailing apps is one example. The other apps that people use to buy things is one example. And I can tell you that since last year we implemented the what do you call it, e-commerce registration, we have seen a lot of revenue coming from that point.
How much has it brought in? Not specific, but just the range, maybe not specific.
In fact, we're getting roughly about 800 something million as at the end of it. We just have to check.
Okay, all right.
But it has been significant, almost getting to $1 billion from that sector. I mentioned it at the last one of the events that I mentioned a figure. But the important thing is the fact that these are all business lines that are coming up. And sometimes they structure the company that you see those things. I heard you in Enjoy FM, you say you're doing a program on the, is it betting? Or there's something I heard.
A group about people,
about the fact that we are becoming so you are trying to look at that sector. Because you've seen that
you've already started applying some taxes in that area, of course.
So that's what I'm saying. That so as the economy is dynamic and we see these changes coming, if you don't also become dynamic and open your eyes, when I say open your eyes, focus and build, so we will not be able to live. So we want Ghanaians to understand that we have heard their cry for us to widen the tax net. So we are looking at the people who are not already in. So when they are we are bringing them in, they should appreciate it and clap for us for bringing them in, rather than saying why are you bringing this one.
I think that
for example, the electricians, masons, artisans and those things, they are not in. When I say they are not in, I mean as the way you want it.
You cannot capture their work to tax them, this informal sector. Right?
Yes, and we are working on it. So when the time comes and we come out of the strategy that will bring them in. I hope we will understand that, and rather will say, oh, thank you for bringing them in. But as soon as that time comes, somebody will say, why are you going to them?
Let's look at the tax target in the 2024 budget and position to hit those targets.
I think so. I mean, it's an election year, but the target is 146 billion. In terms of the ability to hit that, I think that the measures we have put in place and the foundation that has been set is well able to meet that target. You know, as part of the IMF program, we have a medium-term revenue strategy, and this is part of the medium-term revenue strategy. And we think that we are on course and will be able to meet that target.
How has the compliance or the enforcement of the Ghana card itself also impacted on collections and being able to track individuals around?
Yeah, there's a lot we have to do as far as the Ghana card is concerned. So far, we have been able to reach out either through telephone calls or through visit or through text messages to roughly 400,000 people who were picked up from the Ghana card. And we are following up to make sure that they pay and also file. One of the things that is a challenge about which we are working on it is, as I said, is the compliance. Last year we were trying to look at, by something that we think we are working on it to see how we can make some government services. If you remember, if you talked about that, we not make some government services subject to you having a tax clearance certificate. But this has not been received yet. When I say received, it has not approved. You have not been approved. Okay. Yes. And that's one of the ways that we can make the compliance by design. So that if you and enjoying the service, you're supposed to have a tax clearance certificate. And today, what we have done is that the tax clearance certificate is actually automated in our system and can be pushed to every what do you call it, agency who, if we do this compliance by design, will be required to look into it. And once we are pushing it, there's even a technology now that ensures that when you push it, it does not become visible to the agent who is using it. So, if, for example, if I push it to DVLA, and you go to DVLA, and DVLA say they want to check on you, so, they might not even need to see what is in there, but the system will just tell them. So the thing comes in a system that you don't see what is in there, but it tells you whether it is compliant or not. So to answer your question, yes, we are working on it, and we hope that we'll be able to be more effective to bring more people.
Well, the Ghana Online Drivers Union is, however, kicking against the Ghana Revenue Authority's decision. The union have, however, threatened to withdraw their services nationwide if GRA fails to conduct broader consultation before implementing the tax. Let's get on the phone lines now and speak to Francis Kweku Tenge. He's national chairman of the Ghana Online Drivers Union. He joins us via Zoom. Now, in your statement issued on the 27th of December, you had concerns which you wanted GRA to address. Have you had audience with GRA since then?
Yes, good morning to all your cherished viewers, and then this Happy New Year, and we hope that 2024 will be a very much successful new year to all of us, especially in our transport sector. Yes, we've heard from GRA, but not officially from GRA, but they are still standing on their state or their position of implementing the vehicle income tax. But fortunately for us, as of today, we, the online drivers, our platforms are still active, we are still working. Although both has officially given us an update where we can upload our VIT, but we are still waiting for the VIT from the government, the GRA. So this is where we are now. But as of today, all our drivers are all working. We are all happy as I speak now. Our apps are still active, and we are still serving the populace, the commuters throughout the country.
You threatened to switch to local ride-hailing apps. What are some of these apps?
Well, for now, we have the Black Ride, the Chassis, there's a lot of the local apps. But unfortunately, we've not been able to partner. We've partnered with the Blackhead, but we are just hoping that investors will come on board to actually see and promote the local brands. But we are not really going to come out with one yet for now. We are still, we are there. We are just hoping that moving forward, we'll see what to do. But as we speak now, we don't have any official one. We are seeing that is the one behind us, or the one we are moving. But although last 2 years or so, we've had an engagement with the Black Ride in Ghana. But so we are just here. Yeah, hoping that things will pick it up from there.
Well, Francis, so far you've been issuing threats. You threatened to withdraw your services. You threatened to move on to this local ride-hailing hub. So far you haven't done none of this. Why? Why is that?
Oh, yes. Like we said from 27, we were hoping that the GRA will actually engage us. We will actually, like he said, he's now widening up the net. So widening up the net, before you go to someone's house to take something, at least you knock. You let the people know that you are coming in. Let there be a consultation, let there be a collaboration, let there be a teamwork. Put people on committees, put people on board, so that we can see how best we can actually work. So we are hoping that the GRA will actually make things proper this year. Not only that, we are also hoping and praying that the Ministry of Transport to actually regulate the system. There will be a legislation that will make the whole sector juicy, official, make it commercial. Because if it's not commercial, how can the GRA tax us? How can we pay? We already pay a value-added tax of 21.9% since July 2023, and we think that the way things are going on in this country must be done right, so that everybody will be happy. Drivers are already paying too much. We are scared that the introduction of VIT will allow car owners to actually increase sales, weekly sales. Should they increase their sales? Already, our sister union, that is GPRTU, have threatened to increase fares of up to 60% or no less than 60%. Now, here we are now, because there's no regulation, nobody determines the pricing, the fare for Uber, Bolt, and Yango. Government must come in as a third party, as the referee, as the intermediary, and say, okay, I want to come in and then determine pricing of fares, of base fare. But because there's no regulation, there's a vacuum. So Uber is charging differently, as low as 10 cedis, sometimes 12 cedis. We have to go on strike and demonstration before the increase. It's not fair. And so to us, when car owners increase our sales, our weekly sales, then we have no option than also at least go on a nationwide strike. And then two, we are going to charge our own fares. So like we are saying, you have to look at everything logically, and then you request a car and the driver picks up, then there will be a negotiation with you and the driver. They'll be bargaining. If the driver agrees, you also agree, then the driver comes and pick you. We don't get there, and then unless of course the Uber, Bolt, and Yango have to block everybody. They have to block everybody in this country. I don't think they are ready to do that. So we expect that the government GRA should call for a meeting. The union must be present. That will represent the drivers, Uber, Bolt, and Yango, and the Ministry of Transport, all of us. And then we see how best we can actually solve it. How can you be running a platform that the pricing is not determined? There's no, when anytime the GPRTU issues a command or a price increment, Uber doesn't care, Bolt doesn't care, they don't care. So with the drivers, we are suffering, and we want things to change, and change for the better for this country.
Interesting. Now, do you have a timeline as to when you want all this consultation to take place?
Yes, well, as soon as possible. The earlier the better, because we don't want a situation whereby we will push to the wall and then we'll be taking actions that will be inconvenience to people. So to us, hopefully this week or next week, as long as our accounts are active, we are going to work. We are okay. Nobody is having any issues. We are cool. But in the meantime, the GRA can also, this week, next week is okay for us. Other than that, maybe next month or 2 months, we will organize ourselves properly. I mean, we have to be well organized to actually take the next line of action in favor of the drivers.
Thank you very much for joining us here on Newsdesk, Francis Kwekutenge. Now let's move on to another story. The Ghana Private Road Transport Union has presented a proposal to Parliament seeking a reconsideration of the emission levy bill to be implemented in 2024. The bill approved by Parliament imposes an annual 100 Ghana cedis charge on petrol and diesel car owners starting from January 2024. Minority Leader Dr. Keselato Forson says the tax has not been well thought through.
What sort of tax is this? It's regressive. It's regressive because the person using a motorbike should not pay the same tax to the person using Lexus NX 570. The Speaker, so we should be careful what we are legislating on. The Speaker, aside that, the second leg is a tax on carbon dioxide equivalent emission from specific sectors. The Speaker, and these are the sectors. Construction sector. So if you have a construction company and you produce any form of what I don't go describe as smoke, smoke. The Speaker, one ton of smoke is 100 Ghana cedis per annum. How are you going to measure that? Tell us, how are you going to measure 1 ton of smoke? The Speaker, 2 tons, 200 Ghana, 3 tons, 400 Ghana, 4 to 5 tons, 500 Ghana. So how are you going to measure it? You are taxing Okada, you are taxing Pragia, you are taxing Uber cars, you are taxing Trotro, and you are also taxing Mahama Kandu. Mahama Kandu, it's called Pragia, it's in the northern Ghana. This tax will not affect only the rich people. This tax will affect the lowest of our society, including the MPP food soldier. Including the MPP food soldier. The Speaker, this tax is an Okada tax. It's a tax on motorbike. It's a tax on Pragia. Remember, you are going back to your delegates. Tell them about what you are introducing. I believe that this tax is not properly thought through. The mechanism to assess the value or the tonnage of emission that one, based on the sectors, will emit. The Speaker, certainly, I know that it is not available.
But Energy Minister Dr. Marty Opoku-Prempeh says the world is moving on from internal combustion vehicles, and this new levy will help propel the country to the new era of electric vehicles.
By 2030, combustion engines will be outlawed in parts of Europe, where most of our cars come from. We will not get those combustion engines or spare parts to come and repair those cars here. And it will become extremely punitive and even more expensive to even bring such car parts. The whole world is moving. I was with you in COP28. And we all learned the fact that the world is moving. The climate change agenda, Mr. Speaker, was assented to on behalf of Ghanaians by President John Dramani Mahama. And Ghana made its contributions, and it included trying to minimize pollutants. Yes, before the climate warming, if you wouldn't even learn about what is happening in this world, no wonder we are where we are. You are talking about taxing generators. In whose tenure did Ghana become populated with generators? Thank you. Mr. Speaker, so when you have my brothers on the opposite side, blowing both hot and cold, that's what we will have in this country. Under President Mahama, we signed the Paris Climate Accord.
Well, the GPRTU is concerned about the additional tax burden on the transport sector, and they've threatened to raise fares by at least 60%. We'll be speaking to Abbas Moro, who is spokesperson for GPRTU, to get his thoughts about it, because this is coming at a time where online drivers are also raising concerns about the additional burden the tax measure is going to put on them, especially with the income tax. But this is emission tax. Is this even necessary at this point in time? We'll get on the phone lines now and speak to spokesperson for GPRTU, Abbas Moro. Thank you so much for joining us here on Newsdesk. First off, let's get your thoughts on this. Government says it is important that they introduce this emission tax because, one, they plan to protect the economy. They plan to also ensure that our environment is safe. But GPRTU, you will have none of this. Is that the case? Abbas, you'd have to unmute for me so that I can hear you clearly. First off, I want to find out your position now. As GPRTU, government says it is important that they implement the emission levy because they plan to protect our environment, especially at a time when we're fighting illegal mining and other harmful practices to our environment. But GPRTU, you would have none of this? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you have to take your time and listen to us very carefully. All we are saying is a budget has been placed before Parliament. And as Ghanaians, we notice something we have to draw their attention to. We are already paying sanitation and pollution levy of 10% on a liter. And they have twisted the word again on the same pollution, saying we have to pay on that also. Here we are to draw the Speaker's attention that we think it will be double taxes on one item. Notwithstanding that, as we speak now, we are already facing hardship on operating transport in the country today. Currently, prices of spare parts, lubricants have gone up from 200%, etc., etc. But we are trying to manage with this and looking at the current economic situation. Here we are, we notice another part on the taxes that they will increase the VAT on certain items, excluding life insurance, but including automobile. So we are saying currently we are already facing hikes on those items. So we are drawing the biggest attention to that or so presented two items. The items that will go to speaker, we will have a look at it. If those things we keep quiet and the VAT will raise the pay on this automobile item, meaning we are going to face more hardship on what we are facing today that we are complaining. So these are the two things we go to the speaker on. It's not to say that DDLA has also come up with some introduction, of which is also affecting our transport business as well. I have my vehicle, I'm operating with it, I don't have to pay for my road safety certificates, etc. My vehicle breaks down, and I'm unable to fix it for about a year before I'm able to fix it. If I go to renew my document, they will ask me to pay for the period that I'm not using my vehicle. Not satisfied with that. If I pay for that period, for example, and it is 100 gas, I have to pay 200 extra as punishment for not renewing my document for the period that I was not using my vehicle. These are some of the things that we do the biggest attention to. Also, the DHL one was not included. And we are saying, if nothing is not being done, all these things, anyway, we are patiently waiting for a reply from the Parliament. We are not in the right instance to ask everybody to. We believe in dialogue than violence. So we are patiently waiting to hear from them. But if nothing is being done, and we have to go through all this, we are saying that then we will come out with an upward adjustment in oil, not less than 50%. This is all that we are saying.
But then what is informing this 60% adjustment you're proposing? Because I recall some months back when fuel prices dropped, GPRTU, you were adamant to reduce the cost of fares. Now you want to increase it by 60% because government is sending to pay 100 cedis annually. What is informing this calculation?
Yes, as Ghanaians as we are. Currently, we always say the price of fuel is on the higher side. Because there are some products on this which have overstayed its usefulness. And if they are being taken off, I think automatically the price of fuel will also come down. We will always come up with an upward adjustment considering lubricants, spare parts, fuel, and when we take documentation, we make dollar, DVLA, active exercise. These are the components we look at before coming out after. And as I speak now, prices of spare parts has gone up not less than 200 as we speak now. The new part has a cap, which we are drawing the biggest attention to consider. All those things have been. So these are the areas we look at before coming out and upward adjustment.
Thank you so much, Abbas Moro, spokesperson for GPRTU. You're watching News Desk. We're taking a quick breather. When we return, we'll tell you about what is happening across the country, as well as concerns this new year that there was a close to call at Blackstar Square as a firework was misfired, endangering the lives of thousands of revelers who gathered on New Year's Eve. Thanks for staying with us. Close call at Blackstar Square as fireworks misfire, endangering the lives of thousands of revelers who gathered on New Year's Eve. The timely intervention of the Ghana National Fire Service and military averted any catastrophe. Meanwhile, unlike 2023, many are hopeful 2024 will be good to them. There's more in the following report.
It's the last night of 2023 and the world divides into two distinct realms. One filled with fervent prayers, echoing in sacred spaces, seeking solace in the hallowed halls of worship.
Whatever you are believing the Lord for in 2024.
As a practicing Christian, it's good that you come and thank God for a very good year, a very difficult year, that you would pray to God to forgive you for your sins and also pray to God to usher you into a year 2024.
I'm happy with my family. From January to December, we are safe. Nothing bad has happened to us. So we are here to give God all the glory, to thank Him.
Others embrace the night with joyous beats and laughter.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. And you did great, man.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And I appreciate Ghana. Next year, we have to be bold. Don't worry, you have for it. Yeah?
It's Coco Meti Tree Kakra Kakra.
What's the tree Kakra Kakra? Okay, let's do a small tree. So move free here.
Sika, Sika, Sika. Money, 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 money.
Move free America.
America.
Okay, so
this year I decided to come to the beach just to come and have fun.
And how is it going?
Oh, so smooth.
Irrespective of where you find yourself, all are united by the shared anticipation of bidding farewell to the old and welcoming the promise of a new year. And at the stroke of midnight, fireworks lit up the night sky. The cheer at the Blackstar Square from the splendid fireworks quickly turned upside down.
So it's the stroke of midnight and officially we are in 2024. The excitement here at the Blackstar Square is through the roof. Thousands and thousands of people are here to be part of the community, ushering themselves into a brand new year. And as usual, the Blackstar Square is lit with fireworks lighting up the sky. Okay, so I guess that's supposed to be a firework that has misfired. So it seems thrilling for those who are watching, but certainly for those who are working with the fire department, that's something to be concerned about. So yes, some of the fireworks are misfiring, and you can see gentlemen for the Ghana National Fire Service are rushing to get to the grounds. And a fire tender together with an ambulance has been brought to the scene, and the lights to the Independence Arc here has gone off. It used to be lit in the Ghana colors, red, gold, green, and black star on top of it there, all gone off. I must suppose that must be a very serious incident that has happened here.
Nevertheless, the enjoyment goes on. Many people simply refuse to go to sleep.
It's like they're not like life. Some are in the hospital, some are in the prison, but we are alive. To celebrate to see 2-4, Masa, inshallah, is not easy. I'm very happy. I've been happy as somebody.
Oh, we came back from church and we decided to take a picture here.
Take a picture, and how is it going?
It was cool.
Talk to me about the lights. This, for me, I mean, it looks beautiful. What do you think?
Oh, it's awesome. It's beautiful.
We are snapping pictures. We've entered into a new year. Yeah, so we are enjoying ourselves.
Interesting. I know my forehead is wet, so it's shiny, but your forehead is shiny. Is that oil?
Yeah.
Oil from where?
From church.
Why?
We are entering into a new year, so I have to take anointing oil to, yeah.
But how about you? I mean, see you as a photographer. How many? Yeah. Let me see the number of pictures you've taken.
I've gotten like not less than 50.
Wow. Not less than 50 pictures.
Yeah. But I haven't started myself before.
So just the two of them, 25 each.
Yes.
And your own 225. That'll be 75 pictures.
So I'm waiting for my own.
At 2 a.m., during the bustling rush hour, the streets were jam-packed with vehicles and pedestrians. Yet, the police were actively managing the chaos. A brief city tour would make it obvious. The police presence was widespread. Even the Inspector General of the Ghana Police Service, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare, was on the grounds. Assistant Commissioner of Police Grace Ansa Akrofi explained why.
The occasion is 1st of January. It's a new year. We know that in Ghana, the New Year festivities is characterized by a lot of celebration. A lot of people are in the town. And as the Ghana Police Service, our duty is to ensure that there is peace, law, and order in the country. And so throughout the Christmas up till now, the police service, under the leadership of Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare, has deployed thousands of police officers all across the country, And so today he's on the ground to encourage his men to see the safety of our patrons and to make sure that every person that is out here, every person that is in their home, anybody is safe, secure, and there's law and order.
She says the police is hopeful 2024 will be better for the service.
And our message to all Ghanaians is that we wish you a Merry Christmas, a belated, and a Happy New Year. And we urge you to continue to work with us to ensure your safety, security, law, and order. We are happy to serve you and to serve you better each day.
Many compared 2023 to 1983 when Ghana experienced a great famine. Some even argue that 2023 might have been even tougher. Despite this, there's a prevailing optimism that 2024 holds a promise of a brighter future.
And I'm graduating from school, so just to grab the degree and then have more fun after school.
Interesting. What about you? What do you expect to do or accomplish in 2024?
Hopefully get a degree,
BMW.
You want to buy a BMW in 2024?
Our apartments, we get married. That's it. So it's really hard to predict. Say maybe they'll win or lose. It's really hard. So I don't know why the government will be like, after your struggle, then it will be like they'll deduct tax. 10%. Because when you are placing the bet, the government will not give you the money for the placement of the bet. But I don't know why when you chop the bet, they'll be like, you then go deduct. It doesn't make sense. For me, it doesn't make sense.
I hope that 2024 is good to you. For JoyNews, my name is Michael Ashale. Enjoy.
Well, despite the caution by the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare, to men of God to avoid creating fear and panic in their prophecies for the new year, some pastors have defied it. Prior to the festivities, the police urged the faith-based groups and individuals to abide by the law to ensure law and order, insisting that the right to practice faith and freedom of speech as guaranteed by the Constitution are subject to respect for the rights and freedom of others and the public. But Reverend Osubempa, a notable prophet associated with the president, has prophesied, among others, a total shutdown in the power sector this year.
Thick darkness.
Now I saw thick darkness.
Esum thick
darkness.
I saw thick darkness that thick darkness fell on the nation.
So if
there is anybody sleeping, give that person a nudge to wake up. Now, when the darkness fell upon the nation, everything ceased.
Nana, very serious.
And it was pretty serious.
Soon,
darkness, thick darkness, utter darkness.
Said the idea, you know.
Now, the way the darkness fell upon the nation, one may have thought that the whole world was dark. Now, come to think of it, what can happen in Ghana that will make darkness cover Ghana?
Doesn't make sense.
Now, maybe what I'm saying may sound unintelligible in our minds, but let's pray about it. And so let's pray about it spiritually, but also those who work, those who play a role like ECG, like Gridco, like VRA, those who produce and supply electricity. Let them also work seriously.
So first now you say akosobo ana omo hwe no via reform hwan me pa cho omo ni nko niam bi so ye.
Let them pay attention to certain things.
We dey enya doom so ebeba boom at once.
This will not be doom so, it may be doom without so doom.
Meanwhile, his counterpart, Nigel Gazer, declared the opposition NDC as winner for the 2024 general election and asked the NDC supporters to be vigilant. Well, let's do other stories now. Do you recall your New Year resolution for 2023 and where they met? What New Year resolutions have you set for this year and how do you intend to make it a reality? Well, my colleague Kenneth Jesse hit the streets of Accra earlier today to find out from Ghanaians what their 2024 resolutions are. Take a listen. We apologize for that sound. We'll bring it to you in subsequent bulletins. Well, fulfilling responsibilities as citizens in the election year have largely dominated messages delivered in churches as part of the crossover into the new year. Aside Christians being encouraged to play active part in upcoming elections, there have also been calls for re-evaluation of constitutional responsibilities. Head pastor for Redeemed Assemblies of God, Reverend Patrick Ajimanjebi, believes effective participation of citizens in nation building is a recipe for development. Nana Ujima visited some churches in the Ashanti region and filed this report.
Year 2024 was ushered in with dancing and singing praise by church members to God for seeing them through 2023. The firecrackers were not left out, but in moderation. Evangelist Bakumpuafo Godwin of Living Word Fountain Incorporated has charged the youth to put their trust in the Lord.
We want to thank God for granting us the grace to cross over into 2024. What I want the youth of our time to understand is that it's in the Bible that in the last days, perilous times will come. King Solomon said that what has happened will happen again, and it did happen before.
As a youth leader, he wants the youth to be innovative and get themselves employed.
I just want to tell the young people who are coming is that they should look up to the Lord. They should trust in his abilities, his wisdom, and they should be hardworking. One other thing I also say is that my uncle told me one thing some time ago. He said that a man does not say there's no work. He said that a man finds work to do. Moses, we believe, was very learned, and the Bible said that he was powerful in speech and in deed. But when Moses found himself in Midian, in spite of his education, there was no work that was in Midian that matched up to his quality or his standard. So eventually he became a shepherd boy.
He wants politicians to make realistic promises, as some have talked more in opposition, but have done very little in power.
I think that for most of the time, politicians are not real. They don't tell us what we have to hear. They tell us what they want us to know. Because there are some campaign promises that for me, if you talk about it, I think through and I said, what will you even say a thing like that? I'm not going to pinpoint and say black and white, but you see, they should be real with us. They should not throw dust into our eyes. They should have passion for the people. People are suffering. People cannot even afford a day's meal. And yet you see politicians dashing money here and there, and for no reason other than buying a vote. And after they've gotten the vote, they abandon the people. You see, they should have compassion for the masses and be very real with us.
The senior pastor at Chapel of Hope International, Winner Movi, says he would lead his members to pray for a peaceful election year and elect men who would turn situations around for the nation.
He asked for the economy. The fact is that it's very, very bad. And all we can do is to pray that God will raise men like Daniel and the people who turn the economy around. We are praying that God will raise men who turn things around for Ghana.
The head pastor for Assemblies of God Church, Holy Ghost Center, KJB, Reverend Dr. Stephen Afre, who is also the immediate past regional superintendent for Volta North Assemblies of God Churches, believes 2024 would be a better year than 2023. He admonishes politicians not to take the 2024 elections as do or die affair.
Everybody should be calm and stable. Politics is not do and die affair. We are praying. The winner will surely be declared winner. The winner will surely be declared winner. We only pray that there will be transparency. Nobody will try to rig the election, or nobody will try to cheat the friend, because we are praying. And God will take us through the election successfully. And at the end of the election, we'll all give God the glory, because it's God that owns Ghana. Ghana is not for NEC or MPP.
Happy New Year. My name is Peter Sem for JoyNews.
You heard Evangelist Wakuba for urging politicians to make realistic promises. We're taking a quick breather here on Newsdesk. We'll be back with business to say.
Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The National Insurance Commission has indicated it will sanction any insurance company that fails to abide by approved tariffs for third-party premiums. This is coming after the Commission, in collaboration with the National Insurance Association, increased third-party premiums beginning today. Georgia Afe has more.
The insurance companies are today going ahead to adjust tariffs for the various types of third-party products after they secured approval from the industry regulator, that is, the National Insurance Commission. Based on the approved rates, individuals using private cars are expected to pay 482 Ghana cedis, up from the previous price of 468 Ghana cedis. Commercial vehicle owners, especially when it comes to taxis, will now pay 437 Ghana cedis. Hiring cars will pay 652 Ghana cedis. Owners of motorcycles are expected to pay 252 Ghana cedis. The insurance companies have told Joy Business that they took this action to ensure that they are in the good financial position so they can pay genuine claims on time. The National Insurance Commission has also told Joy Business that as a regulator, they will work to ensure that all the insurance companies comply with these tariffs because they want to protect every policyholder. Joy Business understands that an insurance company could be fined as much as 60,000 Ghana cedis for failing to stick with these approved rates by the National Insurance Commission.
Now, interest rates fell marginally on the Treasury market as the government recorded a marginal oversubscription of Treasury bills. According to the auction results, the government got 4.212 billion cedis, about 3.38% more than the targeted amount. Here's more in this report.
The rate on the 91-day bill went down by 11 basis points to 29.24%. Also, the 182-day bill eased to 31.88% from the previous 31.94%. The yield on the one-year bill also fell to 32.48% from the preceding weeks of 32.49%. Analysts were expecting a rise in T-bill yields because of the government's need for funds to support the budget. Meanwhile, the government accepted almost all the bids tendered for the auction. About 2.147 billion cedis came from the 91-day bill, representing about 50.9% of the total bids. It was followed by the one-year bill, in which 1.646 billion cedis were tendered and all were accepted. It constituted 39.07% of the total bids. The 182-day receipt bids worth 417.80 million cedis. About 416.33 million cedis were accepted. Overall, the uptake will partly be used to refinance estimated maturities of the 2.55 billion cedis.
In our next story, economist Professor Peter Quartey is optimistic Ghana will secure a deal with bilateral creditors before the end of next month. Now, the International Monetary Fund has scheduled January 11 as a proposed board meeting date for cash disbursement, subject to the country reaching a deal with its bilateral creditors. Professor Quartey says getting a deal will help sustain the city's recent gains.
And I see 2024 to be more promising, but contingent on us getting the second tranche, contingent on us getting into an agreement with external creditors. If that happens, then certainly we're likely to see some stability on the exchange rate market, and that drives inflation, drives a lot of activities on the business front. So if exchange rate is relatively stable, we are likely to see some gains. Of course, the new taxes, as you mentioned, it depends on when it becomes operational. I hear GRA says they are now setting up the system, so it might not kick off in January, maybe February or March. But as soon as it kicks in, we'll find costs going up. But if we also get stability on the exchange rate front, then the net effect might be maybe marginal increase or none at all, and inflation can be moderated. But then we have to watch the political business cycle. The last quarter of 2024 is going to be another challenging period if we don't put in the systems. In other jurisdictions, you cannot start a new project 6 months to elections. Yeah. You cannot spend beyond a certain threshold. I don't think I've seen those kinds of laws or conditions being set in our country. And it worries me. If we are not careful, the political business cycle will come and bite us again.
And that's it for this segment. The news returns after the break.
Well, that's how we draw the curtains here on NewsDesk. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. We have a lot of trending stories there. Our top stories, some OMCs cut fuel prices, petrol, diesel going for 11 cedis, 24 pesos per litre. That's some great news. Well, my name is Faustina Safo. See you at 12 p.m.